All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the second segment of today's show, we are going to go into more detail regarding the American League wildcard side of things. So, obviously, before we'll go in order. So, the Rays and the Rangers, and then we'll get into the Twins. Obviously, we talked about them in the first segment, ending their playoff win drought. So. The Rays and the Rangers. So I had the Rays winning this series. And it was based off of momentum. I mean, the Rays were coming in hot, 99 wins on the regular season. Rangers were coming in, scuffling a little bit. They just choked the American League West to the Astros. And I don't know. I mean, the Rays at home. I went with the Rays in the series, but when it's the playoffs though. It all goes out the window. It's a whole different atmosphere. And I did say how, the Rays, a lot more fans go to the games. But, yeah, there was a lot of empty seats. So, they can't move into that new ballpark sooner. But even then, I don't know. I don't know. I just remember back in the day when they made it to the World Series in 2008. And I don't know. I feel like they packed out that stadium more. I don't know. I guess as time went on, a lot of people just lose interest. And it's unfortunate because the Rays have been a good team. It's just they really don't pack out that stadium. So, but yeah, so yesterday you had Jordan Montgomery going for the Rangers, and then for the Rays you had Tyler Glasnow. And yeah, the Rays ended up losing 4-0. And yeah, the lineup just couldn't do anything. But the other thing, too, is they made a lot of errors. Now, I was able to catch, some of the game. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing. But the Rays had 4 errors in this game. They played a very sloppy game. You had a wild pitch that led to a run scored. You had, them trying to throw out a runner at second base, gets thrown into the I don't know if it was on the stolen base or it was a hit. But, oh, wait, no, it was a hit. It was hit to center field. Siri kind of bobbled the ball, and then he threw it to third base, and it went into the dugout, and that allowed another run to score for the Rangers. It just, very sloppy. Diaz couldn't scoop a ball at first base that was thrown his way. And the Rangers capitalized on it. And they got a big win. And Jordan Montgomery, former Yankee, pitched very well. And listen, he's going to be big for the Rangers because, listen, they don't have DeGrom. You don't have Scherzer. It's really going to be up to Monty and Eovaldi to, that's the top of their rotation right now. Montgomery went 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 Ks, no walks. He pitched amazing. He was great. Aroldis Chapman, who, of course, another former Yankee who I had some concern with pitching in big games, he went 1 inning with 1 strikeout. And Leclerc, he pitched 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So the bullpen did their job. Montgomery pitched very well. We look at the box score for the Rangers. Corey Seager went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Tavares had 2 hits. Adolis Garcia had a hit. Nathaniel Lau had a hit. Jonah Heim had a hit. Josh Young had an RBI. Evan Carter had 2 hits and 2 walks, so he was on base a lot. The scoring summary. So yeah, Josh Young had a sac fly. There was a wild pitch. Corey Seager scored off of that. Corey Seager had a single that led to 2 runs being scored. Again, that was a throwing error by Jose Siri. That was in the top of the 6th. And yeah, the Rays just really couldn't get anything going. Rosarena had 2 hits. Paredes had a hit. Meade had a hit. Walls had 2 hits, but struck out 7 times in total. But yeah, they just really could not get anything going. And yeah, 4 errors, and this is a team that's pretty good defensively, but yeah, it just they couldn't get anything going. And they felt confident going into the series. There was talk about that as well, but yeah, they were flat. Glasnow, He wasn't great. 5 walks, 3 earned runs, 6 hits. Still had 8 strikeouts. The bullpen did its job. Davinsky pitched 2 innings. Diekman pitched an inning, and Kittredge pitched an inning. And yeah, they all did well. They each gave up a hit. Diekman walked a guy. But yeah, I mean, the Rays offense just could not get anything going. And that's the thing that happens in the postseason is, you're facing better pitching, and you're facing the best of the best. So sometimes you're going to struggle, and that's what happened. But yeah, listen, like I started with the Rays just because I like their pitching better, and they finished with a better record. Rangers were coming in flat. Even though I like the Rangers lineup better than the Rays lineup. It's just, I think overall, I don't know. I just like the Rays going into the series. And listen, the Rays can still win it, but right now it's not looking good. I mean, they played really sloppy defense. They couldn't get anything going offensively. So, yeah, I don't know. Right now it's in the Rangers' favor, and they got Nathan Eovaldi pitching. So, now the Rays got Zach Eflin, who's had a great season as well. Both of these guys were Cy Young candidates. I mean, Eovaldi was the favorite at one point, and then he got hurt. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But right now, it's not looking good for the Rays. So yeah, tonight it's Nathan Eovaldi and Zach Eflin. The game starts at 3:08 Eastern time. So yeah, so we'll see if the Rays can get anything going there. But yeah, not looking good. And again, like the Rays are coming in, they got some injuries as well, and stuff happened with other players off the field. They're still missing McClanahan, of course, who apparently he's not pitching. Who's not going to pitch pretty much next year either. That's a big loss for them. And obviously Glass now, he was dealing with stuff, and obviously he just came back. So yeah, the Rays got hit with injuries and other stuff that doesn't really need to be mentioned, and most people know what I'm referencing. But yeah, right now it's not looking good. Rangers right now are in the driver's seat, and it's just funny how obviously this is now a wild card series, but yeah, like you lose game 1, it's like, yeah, you're facing elimination, and it's just weird to hear that. But yeah, that's what it is now, So, but yeah, that's basically what happened there. Rangers right now are in the driver's seat. So we will see what happens. But yeah, the winner of that series then goes on and faces the Orioles. So now I didn't have the Rays going far. I had them getting to the division series and then losing. But yeah, I mean some people have the Rays going to the World Series. So right now that World Series pick is not looking good for some people. So now we'll get into the Blue Jays and the Twins. So obviously, yes, the Twins, they just can't get anything going when they make it to the postseason. And I'm not super confident. I wasn't super confident in the Blue Jays, but I kind of leaned more towards picking them just because of the Twins not really having much playoff success. And the Twins got the win, 3-1. Pablo Lopez pitched very well. Gausman was okay. They said he was struggling with some of his command, some of his pitches. I think it was a splitter. They said I think that's what he was struggling with. But listen, he only gave up 3 runs, and those 3 runs came off of the bat of one player, and that was Royce Lewis, the rookie for the Twins. Had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first, so that put the Twins up immediately. Then had a home run in the bottom of the third. And the Blue Jays really just couldn't get anything going. They scored a run in the 6th inning off of a Kevin Kiermaier single, and that was the final score, 3-1. You look at the box score for the Blue Jays: Springer 0 for 5, Brandon Belt 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1 for 4, Bichette 2 for 4, Biggio was 0 for 4, Kirk was 0 for 2 with a walk. Kiermaier, he had 2 hits, he had the RBI and a walk. Matt Chapman was 1 for 4. Varsho was 0 for 2. And Whit Merrifield came in to pinch hit, but he was 0 for 1 with a walk. So Blue Jays just really could not get anything going. And it's not like the Twins really did anything either. I mean, the Blue Jays out-hit them 6-5. Royce Lewis was the difference in the game. Kepler had a hit. He was 1 for 4. Correa was 1 for 4. Michael A. Taylor, he had made some nice plays in the outfield yesterday. He was 1 for 3. But yeah, I mean, not really not really a lot of offense in this game, and it was again only done by one player basically. So now going tonight, today you got Barrios against Sonny Gray. Now I said the Blue Jays will take game 1. I said this series would go 3 games. But yeah, I don't really can't really like what you saw from the Blue Jays. I mean, again, Royce Lewis was the offense for the Twins yesterday. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to be another close game today. I mean, right now you got to lean towards the Twins with Sonny Gray going for them. But again, I mean, the Blue Jays are a good offensive team, and I mean, I think they should take today's game. But we'll get into more of that in the next segment, though. But yeah, it's just not a good showing for the Blue Jays, and especially again because Royce Lewis was the offense for the Twins. So Blue Jays got to win today. Blue Jays and the Rays. Now, do they get it done? Right now, I mean, I'm favoring Texas right now to win today. Just because I mean the Rays. I mean, right now the Rays and the Blue Jays just couldn't get anything going offensively, and you got Eovaldi pitching for Texas. You got Sonny Gray pitching for the Twins. So it's going to be tough. I think both games will be close. I think the Blue Jays, they somehow find a way to win today. I think the Rays. I think the Rangers may take the series and move on. And it's just funny how I say that after, basically, picking the bracket, and I'm giving up on the Rays already. So, but we'll just have to wait and see, and yeah, that's basically the preview when it comes to the recap when it comes to the American League wild card. So games 2 for both series are today. We'll get into that in the final segment. We'll preview those games even more. Obviously I kind of gave you my thoughts on it already, but we'll talk about some of the keys to the game, and yeah, that'll be the final part of the show. So with that, we are going to take our second break of the show, and then when we come back, we are going to recap the NL wildcard side of things and how those games shaped out today. So stick around, and we will be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.